we finally got some good quality gameplay clips to be able to show off and break down. And that is what we are going to be doing today. Now, before we start today's video, don't forget that if you do enjoy, to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. And of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, don't forget to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also gotta say, I've been streaming a ton lately and it has been an absolute blast to be streaming with you guys. I've had such a good time with it. I am live around 1 p.m. Eastern time, so if you want to stop by and say hi, be sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I am live. Also, last but not least, gotta thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get. Don't forget to check out the link in the description or hit the blue join button. Anyway, let's begin. So we have about a 30-second clip here. One kind of shows off Irish and breaks him down a little bit, and then the last 15 seconds are two really good gameplay clips that show us a lot about how the game is going to function and honestly solves a lot of concerns, in my opinion, in a subtle manner that I am very glad are there. So let's get into those. So in the first part, we get the breakdown of Irish. He seems to be all geared up for combat and is carrying what appears to be the MCX Spear assault rifle, which does make sense to be a gun coming to this game and has been rumored to be coming to it. So to see him with it, I guess that kind of confirms that it's coming to the game. Now, obviously, we can tell he's American. I mean, if you've played BF4 or saw Exodus, you know he's American. But as far as how he's going to be implemented in BF 2042, it looks like he's going to be a part of the engineer class, as well as having gadgets built around a fortification system, as we're going to see in the clips coming up. And then, of course, his curious trait of veteran. Now, going into the first gameplay clip, first of all, we get a reload on Irish's M5A3, the second weapon that we have shown off in this clip. Presumably, this is after a kill, but you wouldn't be blamed for not noticing, because for the 9,000th time, that kill feed is yikes. I hope this is a placeholder, because wow. I have seen some cool concepts of BF3's kill feed coming up over some BF 2042 clips, and it does look like a really cool way if they were to go that direction. It does look really good with this game, but regardless, I'll take anything over just like Doughboy 69 +1. Like, please, no, please do something better than that. But regardless, again, I think this is just a placeholder. Now, we also get a first look at something that is very important, and it has been kind of piquing my curiosity for quite a while. That is going to be the armor icon. Now, for the first time, we see both Irish's veteran trait and see the armor icon say something that isn't 0. Of course, the armor icon was first shown in the Portal trailers, so it is curious to see it say 10 right here. Now, that little number 10 could mean a couple of things, and I talked about this in my previous video about Irish specifically. Now, that 10 could just be 10 health points, and that's what his veteran trait is. It's just 10 extra health points, and that way it acts more like that BF4 kind of specialization, where it really takes about 1 extra round to get a kill or 1 round fewer to die. That can be a really cool little clutch trait to have, but it's not something that's overpowered, and I think would fit well in terms of balancing. I don't think it's going to screw up the meta and make it feel like that there's meta specialists. On the flip side, it could be 10 armor plates. Now, carrying 10 armor plates reminds me of the old kind of early alpha clips of BF5 where the medics had 5 medic pouches before they just made them infinite, and it reminds me a lot of like attrition and things like that, and I don't think that's the direction they're going. I think it's much more likely to be the 10 health points, simply because you see the 100 for the health right next to it and then the 10 next to the armor icon. So just putting 2 and 2 together, that just makes the most sense. So I'm not really worried about it. This really kind of helped alleviate that worry for me. Obviously, we're not going to know until we get our hands on the game, but it does seem to be the much better path here. And I think, again, they've just taken such great care with trying to get this game in a good state and not have a BF5 situation that I definitely think it's going the better route. Then again, it's worth keeping an eye on. Over on the minimap, we see minimap stuff like resupply icons, the score for what appears to be conquest, the various objectives, your squad, you know, minimap things. Big whoop. Now, next up are the big parts of the clip. Irish throws down his deployable cover as he goes to choose his deployable cover. It seems he has the option to choose either gadget as well as a number 3 next to them both. Now, I'm assuming this is the max amount of times you can place a gadget in a single life. And like rockets, or I guess more similarly to things like AP mines, you can only put down so many before they start to pick themselves up. This way you can't just build entire just walls around the map. or have like a bunch of walls and then the DPS gadget. So that way it's not like something overpowered and it really just balances itself. I think that's fine. I like that you can choose which gadget you want to put down and you can put it in various forms depending on the situation you're in. I think it adds an element of thinking in just a kind of unique way that we haven't really seen in Battlefield in this fashion. Now, the gunplay is something many of us have been curious about and why these clips are so great. And first of all, we see Irish in this clip start to shoot, and oh my god, I melted when I saw it. So just to get into more of the specific details about him shooting, he fires off about 7 shots at the first guy in the clip. It appears that 4 or 5 might hit. It's really hard to tell because the little white crosses against the lighter colored background, it makes it a little difficult to tell, but it appears to be about 4 or 5 shots, and they appear to all be body shots, so it does make a little bit of sense with a gun that, let's say, is around 700 rounds per minute. If it's an M5A3, it sounds like that would be about right at someone who's maybe 10 or so meters away. I could see that being the case. Obviously, we don't know for sure all the stats on it, but again, it gives me those BF5-esque vibes. Now, another reason I say that is, number one, there's constant fire on the first guy, but as you see him transition to the second guy at the top of the little balcony in the back, it stays a steady rate of fire. There's no bursting going on, so it seems to almost eliminate that BF4-esque type of gunplay some people like myself thought might be coming to the game, and really lends itself to this BF5 kind of gunplay system that I think we've started to see more and more hints at as we get more and more gunplay clips going forward. Now, speaking of the second clip, this is where the good stuff is. I'm talking the fresh golden geese of gunplay. Now, first of all, Irish has swapped over to the AK24 in this clip. It's an assault rifle and it seems to be a futuristic version of the AK-12. Now, before we actually get to hear this beautiful machine of death start firing out and its gorgeous sounds, we do see him deploy his APS-36 kind of trophy system. It's like a Sentry, but it's really a trophy system. Now, we don't see it in action because the devs knew that we had to hear this sexy beast roar, and boy, do we. Now, like I said, the AK-24, if it's a futuristic version of the AK-12, it kind of seems to make sense. You go from 12 to 24, you just double the number. Just saying, it's gonna have about a 600 to 650 round per minute fire rate. Now, for the first guy, doesn't really matter. He's not at full health. He kind of blows up. Still get credit for the kill. I don't know how all that worked, but it doesn't really tell us a lot. The second guy, after our little guy gets around his little circle whoop-de-whoop and actually lands on the second enemy and starts firing, we get a good detailed look at the bullets to kill, the gunplay, everything like that. Again, there's no bursting here. It is a constant rate of fire. It's a steady rate of fire. There's not a ton of bouncing around after he gets on target. Once he gets on target, we see the target is at 29 meters. This is a big tell and very important. It takes about 4 bullets to kill, and what appears to have been a headshot, or at least a critical hit or 2 in there. So 4 bullets to kill at 29 meters lines up a lot with the STG-44 and the STG-15. Again, depending on the rate of fire, they're in that kind of range of 600 to 670 respectively, which again lines up with the 600 to 650 and AK-12 / if this is, you know, the AK-24 is based on the AK-12. Like, it lines up with a BF5-esque type of gunplay system and damage pattern. They do have technically 5 bullets to kill at that 30-meter range, but with the headshot, again, 4 bullets to kill just makes sense. And this is confirmed again as someone who is slightly closer. The third target does take 5 bullets to kill to the body at a slightly closer range, but it's still in that kind of 5 bullet to kill range, so it does make sense here. So essentially, it's all but confirmed, in my opinion. Again, just my opinion. It's all but confirmed that we are getting a BF5 style gunplay system, and I know that's going to please a lot of people who enjoyed especially the launch version of BF5's gunplay. Now, overall, this little clip for 30 seconds, I was very, very happy with it. Not only all the things that we went over today, we also got a good look at what appears to be the map renewal. Of course, the first clip takes place in the science lab, kind of in the greenery area of the map. The second in the more desert side of it. So I'm really excited for that map. It's the one I'm the most excited for because of just how unique it is and how it seems to have these cool various little environmental settings. I'm really intrigued by it. And of course, Egypt's just a cool place in general, even if it is a future fictionalized version of it. I just like it. Now anyways, let me know your thoughts on these clips down below. Did you guys see the same things I did, or do you have your own opinions on what we saw today? Do you have any questions, worries, things that you want to know more about the game, or do you think we should just simply wait to get our hands on it? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a nice thick and juicy like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.